the idea to have an international meeting on crisis preparedness and regional collaboration. It's so important for these times, and everybody feel these things in different way. I'm very happy to have with us representative from different countries, but also the top management leaders of European Society of Intensive Care Medicine. Professor De Vele, very welcome.
Thank you
Professor
very much.
Pova, very welcome. And we are waiting for Professor Bubenek. I'd like to greet our colleagues from online. Good morning, Ilona. Good morning, Professor. And we are sorry because you are not with us, but I suppose next time you'll be here. I wish you healthy for your relatives, and I hope to receive good news from your part.
I think I just mentioned crisis preparedness, how important it is. At European Society, we are very worried because we know that indeed, for many reasons, we are in a worse situation compared to the previous pandemic, and most of our experience comes from the previous pandemic. Maybe also just to clarify, European Society of Intensive Care Medicine has put a lot of time, energy and resources in the past 5 to 10 years, but especially in the past 5 years, during the pandemic, after the pandemic, in building education and making sure that educational material is available for our members throughout Europe and beyond. And as we went along, I think everybody came to realize that providing education is one of our key responsibilities. The main reason, of course, is still to improve outcomes of patients. This is what is central. But from the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, we learned that crisis has specific challenges, and we need to learn from that. Our impression is that our societies, our governments, don't like to hear about another crisis. They don't want to hear about another pandemic. They forgot about all the problems we had during COVID-19. And with a number of different challenges ahead, whether it's a pandemic, a new pandemic, which is still possible, whether it's a conflict like now happening in Ukraine, but it could also be natural disasters. It could be many different things that we need to make sure that our patients get appropriate care when they need it. And being prepared is one of the key features. During COVID-19, we've built an educational program. C19 Space was the name. It provided both for nurses and for medical doctors training to be in a short time being able to be part of the team in intensive care. Of course, that was a reactive program, as I would call it. There was a challenge, and then we assembled something. We had to work very fast, of course. And we learned that we need, for a future pandemic, we need to be better prepared. So proactive rather than reactive. One of the big challenges is, of course, also that the number of healthcare professionals working in the ICUs has decreased. I've seen this in most European countries, that people have left the profession. And some of them who are working there now, they also say, when then another pandemic, another problem comes, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm not able to take another crisis, another challenge, another pandemic. And this is basically the background why we at ESICM think we need to be better prepared. The C19 Space, I think, was very successful. We trained thousands of healthcare professionals, and we continue to work with many different organizations in the future. We're building education, and maybe Pedro, you can just mention about ICF, the programs, the different things that we've been doing, just to give you a little bit of the picture where we are, what we have. But then basically, we are here to understand what has been happening already, because indeed, also from what I've learned already today and this morning, a lot of initiatives are being taken by the national societies, by governments, but still streamlining, standardizing education, learning from each other at the same time, I think is all very important. And we feel at the SICM that we could be catalyzers or helping, supporting the Central European societies, but also making information-making training available for Western European societies, because also there is a strong interest. I know the situation here is very different, but still also in Western Europe, many countries are very worried.
Just to complement a little bit what Jens said is that program that we receive a grant from the European Commission and was built in 6 weeks. Okay, so it was quite fast, and so we have the skills to do it. And in that way, also it was spread around Europe, and we trained around 20,000 healthcare professionals. And just to say that some of the Eastern European countries were quite champions in these, like Estonia, Romania, and Lithuania, in terms of the number of healthcare professionals involved in this program. And the success was also picked up by WHO and also used in other parts of the world as a training program to upskilling and reskilling healthcare professionals that were not, let's say, trained in ICU to be able to take care of the patients, because the issue is not only to have mechanical ventilators, but to have people that know how to deal with those devices and to deal with those patients. And we also assessed the revenue of the investment, the impact of the program and the health, and we have also that data. So that program was not only an educational program, but it reflects in the care of the patients in Europe and outside. That was quite important. And like almost a spin-off of this program, it came another educational program, the Intensive Care Fundamentals, that I think all of you are aware. That is designed to those that are newcomers in the ICU, so young residents. That is, let's say, a self-paced learning online and also interactive face-to-face teaching in the local languages. So the idea is to have the program spread in the different countries and then to have trainers certified by us then to deliver the courses in different countries, and with specific objectives like orientation of their role in the ICU, improve also knowledge in a simulated way with not high-end simulation, but with simulation scenarios to improve also the ability of the newcomers to work in multi-professional teams, and again, to improve the patient safety. There are already a couple of countries that are running ICF. Romania is one of the countries, maybe one of the countries with more courses, and more, they did already, I think, 11 courses. So more than 160 trainees, and also 80 participants in faculty development days, and so it is spreading. That's a model. The first one was in CBU in February, in faculty development, yeah. And so this is a model for other countries in terms of how to implement and develop and spread the ICF in each country. And so Strati supports also a lot of these, and also made a course in Moldavia in Chisinau.
Yes,
okay.
Professor Bubana, he organized with Yonkes of
and this is also a good example, and also the way it starts to become an ambassador, not only locally, but to other countries like to Hungary, that also is using the same model here. And other countries around, like Poland, is also having ICF, Latvia also, and also we had recently been contacted by the Lithuanian Society to sign an MOU to start to have also the ICF. And this is, in a way, the objective of having ICF is to have, again, I think, a standardization of education, of good quality education in this way as a starting point to the introduction of intensive care as a training program. And this has been quite successful in different countries, and we have signed in the last lives 4 MOUs with 4 different European societies. One of those was the Srati that was signed in last lives, and also another good thing that we had also signed between our president and the Hungarian president of the European Society of the Hungarian Society was the dual membership agreement that also then will start to develop other MOUs to other educational programs. Another program that we launched this year, and we were just discussing minutes ago, is the Genius. Genius is a training program for a general ultrasound in ICU. So targeting intensivists, is not for newcomers, intensivists that wish to have more competences in critical care ultrasound. And again, the first faculty development day was done in collaboration with Srati in Sinaia in May this year. And then to develop local programs. So this is a pathway, this is not only a course, this is an online part and then a face-to-face, also run in the local languages, and we are also having more faculty development days in Germany, Hungary, in Portugal. And that's it.
I think this really showcases, well, first of all, our track record that we've been having in crisis, but also outside of crisis, we are building education and trying to standardize this across Europe, and we are very happy that's also being adopted and being picked up by Central European countries such as yours. And at the same time, also our commitment, to try to get harmonized training across the different European countries, and this is our aspiration, our ambition to assist national societies, to assist members, to assist intensive care professionals in being able to deliver the best possible care. That's the basic idea. But as I mentioned before, we are here as much to tell you what we have been doing, but also to listen to your experiences, your challenges, what you've learned in the past years when preparing for such a crisis, to better inform and see if there are opportunities for us to be of assistance in this process.
So in this case, allow me to introduce Professor Bubenek.
Yes.
And he will present the experience of Romanian Society of Anesthesiology and Intensive Care.
I take this opportunity to thanks to those who organized this meeting, which up to me for Romania it's of utmost importance. On one side, Romania it's on the far east part of Europe, having a long neighborhood with Ukraine, and unfortunately with this unfair war in Europe. On the other hand, Romania it's a country which has a huge earthquake risk. So for us to be prepared, it would be a national priority. Of course, that people which are intelligent and dedicated and honest, they are dealing with this, and they are thinking how to be prepared, how to prepare the countries, the citizens, the infrastructure for such a bad situation. On the other hand, because Professor De Veile asked what we learned during the last pandemic, we learned that in Europe we are not alone. Most of us today, we forgot how in January 2021, I think, I also forgot something. We expected at the northern border of the country the trucks coming with the vaccine. No? All the TV channels, the army was paying attention to these trucks to don't be bribed or I don't know. Everybody was excited. Today we forgot, or most of our compatriots, but not only Romania, they forgot lessons. Unfortunately for us, the war coming from the cold eastern part of, extremist part of Europe, renew our memories, and now we have to understand that we have to be prepared for the worst. In respect of this idea, I would like to thank the European Society of Intensive Care Medicine because we and they, I would say that we have a good experience, quite long experience during the COVID pandemic, as my colleagues from Sigma underlined already. We organized together the CA19, the program to train physicians and nurses here in Romania based on the experience shared with the most famous experts in the field in Europe. On the other hand, we have already a partnership with the European Society of Intensive Care Medicine consisting in the dual membership. We are running now the Intensive Care Fundamentals program and the Genius program, which are, how to say, they are appointed by the ESICM. And we are preparing to go further with much more centers of training on European diploma in Târgu Mureș and in Timișoara. In Bucharest, we have already the center which is organizing such exams. On the other hand, the Romanian intensivists, they offered to the last Congress of European Society of Intensive Care in München the majority of trainers in echocardiography. And I didn't participate this year, but I heard that everybody was happy with our colleagues. They are really experts. They are happy to share their experience. More than this, we have a good relationship, and we try to participate with our knowledge to education in Republic of Moldova. And last but not least, a long-lasting relation of friendship with the Hungarian colleagues, with Professor János Gál, and I saw there Professor Ilona Bobek, which is a very, very old friend of the Romanian Society of Anesthesiology and Intensive Care, and a long-lasting friend of all the Romanian anesthesiologists. She contributed a lot to an European program of training in continuous renal replacement therapy made in Romania, but organized for specialization in Hungary, in her department. So we have the experience how to cooperate in this region. On the other hand, I myself, I saw the ugly face of the war. Last year, when Romanian Society of Anesthesia and Intensive Care organized an expedition to Kiev, to the biggest children's hospital, the Ahmadit Hospital, and we offered medical supplies to our colleagues. I traveled from Bucharest to Kiev by truck, I and the driver, and I saw what the war means outside the hospitals and the daily life of Ukrainian people, but I saw also what destroying hospitals means in Ukraine. And I think that it's absolutely very well. We have to welcome this initiative and to try to take any advantage to be prepared. For example, my hospital, which is the biggest cardiovascular institute in Romania, it's a critical structure for NATO, but never we received any money, any help from the Romanian government in order to be prepared. We are prepared with our hearts, with our minds, but I think that we have to go further a little bit and analyze what are our needs really, where we have human resources which are able to solve problems, and where it's only facade. Because otherwise we will just say that we are prepared, that at the end of the day we're not able to perform any good work. So I thank you for the attention. We are deeply open and we are very keen to cooperate and to find out how to build a European program under the regulations maybe done by the ESICIM. And I'm sure that together with you, with the colleagues from military hospital in Bucharest, other military hospitals, civilian hospitals, the University of Bucharest, Cluj, Târgu Mureș, we'll be able to build such a program. Thank you so much, and I'm very eager to listen your experience. Thank you so much.